I want you to think about who you were before this job, how you walked into a room, how you talked about your ideas, how you felt about yourself on a Monday morning. Now think about who you are today. For a lot of women, something shifted. Not all at once, not in one big dramatic moment. Slowly, quietly, so gradually. You almost did not notice. And now, you second-guess yourself constantly. You apologize before you even finish a sentence. You feel like you are never quite good enough, no matter how hard you work. And you keep thinking, it is you. It is not you. It might be your job. Welcome to She Wins, the channel where we talk about money, career, and the mindset shifts that actually change your life. Today we are talking about something that does not get nearly enough attention: the way a bad work environment quietly dismantles the most confident, capable, brilliant women. Not through one big moment, through 1,000 small ones, and once you can see it, you cannot unsee it. So let us talk about the 5 signs that your job is quietly killing your confidence. Sign number 1, you apologize for everything. And I do not mean you bump into someone and say sorry. I mean you say sorry before asking a question, sorry before sharing an idea, sorry for taking up space in a meeting that you were invited to, sorry for existing professionally. Here is the thing about over-apologizing. It is rarely a personality trait. It is almost always a response to an environment where you have been made to feel like too much, too loud, too direct, too ambitious, too emotional. So you started shrinking. You added sorry to the beginning of every sentence to make yourself easier to digest. And it worked. People stopped reacting badly. But here is what it cost you: your own belief that you have the right to speak without apologizing first. If you catch yourself saying sorry 10 times before lunch, pay attention. That is not who you are. That is who your workplace taught you to be. Sign number 2, you have stopped sharing your ideas. You used to have them. You still have them, actually. But somewhere along the way, you started keeping them to yourself because the last time you spoke up, someone talked over you, or took credit for what you said, or gave you a look that made you feel stupid for trying. So now, you sit in meetings and watch other people say the thing you were thinking, and you feel a complicated mix of frustrated and relieved. Frustrated, because that was your idea. Relieved, because at least nobody can dismiss you if you never say it out loud. That is not protection. That is your confidence being slowly hollowed out. A workplace that does not make room for your voice is not a place that deserves your best thinking. And your best thinking deserves a room that will actually hear it. Sign number 3, you dread Sunday nights. Not just a little bit of pre-Monday nerves. I am talking about a heaviness that starts around Sunday afternoon and sits on your chest all evening. The kind where you cannot fully enjoy the weekend because you already know what is waiting for you. The kind where you wake up Monday morning and your first thought is something you have to survive, rather than something you get to do. A lot of people normalize this. They say it is just how work is. Everyone feels like this. It is called being an adult. No. Dreading your job every single week is not a universal human experience. It is a signal. Your body is telling you something. Your brain keeps trying to explain away. The question is whether you are ready to listen. Sign number 4. You have started to believe the narrative. This one is the most dangerous because at some point, if you are criticized enough, overlooked enough, underestimated enough, you start to think, maybe they are right. Maybe you are not leadership material. Maybe you are too sensitive. Maybe you are lucky to have this job at all. And you stop pushing for the promotion. You stop asking for the raise. You stop believing that something better is possible for you. That is not self-awareness. That is internalized defeat. And it happens to smart, capable, talented women all the time. Because confidence is not bulletproof. It needs to be protected. And an environment that chips away at it every single day over months and years, will eventually break through. If the voice in your head sounds a lot like your most critical colleague or your most dismissive manager, that is not your instinct talking. That is their voice living rent-free in your head, and it is time to evict it. Sign number 5. You have forgotten what you are actually good at. Think about it. When did you last feel genuinely proud of your work? When did you last finish something and think, yes, I did that well? When did someone recognize your contribution and you actually believed them instead of immediately explaining away the compliment? A job that never celebrates what you bring, that only points out what you lack, that measures you only by your gaps and never by your strengths, will make you forget who you are. And that is the quietest, most insidious damage of all, because you can leave a bad job. But if it has convinced you that your talents are not real, that your worth is conditional, that you need to earn the right to take up space, you take that with you into the next job, into the next relationship, into every room you walk into. That is what makes this so important to catch early. So here is where we land. If you recognized yourself in one of those signs, I want you to hear this clearly. It does not mean you are broken. It means you have been in an environment that was not built for you to thrive. And there is a difference. One is about who you are. The other is about where you have been. Here is what I want you to do. First, name it. Stop calling it stress, or burnout, or just how things are. Call it what it is. If your workplace is shrinking you, that is a problem worth taking seriously. Second, reconnect with your track record. Go find the emails where someone thanked you, the projects you delivered, the moments you are proud of. Write them down. Your confidence did not disappear. It got buried, and you can unbury it. Third, decide what comes next. Maybe that is a conversation with your manager. Maybe it is updating your resume. Maybe it is just making a plan, so you feel less trapped, but do something. Because the longer you stay somewhere that does not see you, the harder it becomes to see yourself. You were not built to survive your job. You were built to do work that actually means something. Do not let the wrong environment make you forget that. She wins. If this hit close to home, subscribe. Every week on this channel, we talk about career, money, and the mindset shifts that actually move your life forward. And if you have a friend who is stuck in a job that is slowly draining her, send her this video. Sometimes people just need someone to name the thing they have been feeling for months. Be that person for her.